Yes, people, hope everyone is well. So today, I'm going to be starting a new series. This is going to be the first episode of a 0 to 10k challenge on Vinted reselling. I think it's going to be really beneficial for everyone watching. Plus, I know I'm going to really enjoy making it as well. Basically, just going to show you my full process and what I'm doing to be consistent when it comes to making profit with Vinted reselling. To make sure the challenge is fair and I'm not getting a big advantage, I'm going to be making sure that all of the profits that I am making are from items purchased from me making this video right now. Anything purchased before the making of this video is not going to be added onto the total profit counter in the 10k challenge. Secondly, I'm going to be making sure that I am allowing myself to go into different niches to make sure that I am maximizing my profit. I may be reselling things like phones, laptops, clothes, shoes, beanies, anything to make sure that I am reaching that 10k goal in a good time. Now that I've ran through all of that, let's get into it. Okay, so my first items for the challenge have just arrived at one of the impost lockers close to me. I'm going to head over there now and I'll show you what I bought when I get back. Okay, just got back from the impost locker. I think I got about 5 or 6 parcels here. From feeling them when I was getting them out, majority of them are going to be shoes, but I'll open them off camera now and I'll just show you everything that I got. Okay, so all of the parcels have been opened. So the items that I'm about to show you are the first things that I've bought while doing the 10k challenge. Okay, so first of all, we've got a really nice pattern Patagonia snap tee fleece. Great sellers. Next, I've managed to pick up some Nike Vomero 5s. These are really good sellers. I'm actually surprised that I was able to pick these up at such a steal because they are quite expensive. Little bit of a controversial one here. I got some Vapor Maxes, TMs, whatever you want to call them. Now, you can see there's a few small holes, a few small scuffs on them. Now, let me put a photo up on the screen quickly of what I bought these for. £1. I got them for £1. Now, if you get anything for £1 these days, it's always going to be a steal. So definitely going to be some good profit in that. Some React Elements here. They're not as popular as the React Visions, but they do actually still have the same value. They're really good sellers. Some more React Elements, you can't go wrong, especially in the big sizes. This was an absolute banger. One of the ACG Wolf Tree Polar Tech Ninja fleeces. You know it's a Ninja fleece when the hood's like that. Really nice. Next thing I was able to grab was a Rab light down puffer jacket. Really nice. Rab, Patagonia and Nike are by far my favorite brands to resell. Now, you guys watching, you may have different niches, but for me, that is just the 3 brands that I've got the most knowledge in. Now, you can see here, I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up, but right there, you've got a small nick in the zip. Now, as long as the zip is still fully functional, like I was aware of that when I bought it, but I've tested it and it does zip fine. So that's definitely going to still hold its value. Some Rab walk-in trousers. These are always great sellers. I can't remember the last time I've held onto a pair of Rab walk-in trousers for longer than 24 hours. I'll put a photo on the screen. I'm guessing by the time I've even edited this video that these have already sold. I can't remember exactly what I paid for them, but I'm going to be listing these up at 48 to 50 pounds. Last of all, I'm turning back the clocks. I've got some of the old school Huaraches. Now, a lot of people will actually have the perception that because Huaraches aren't really as trendy now, they don't have a lot of value. Now, I don't struggle to sell these whatsoever. And in the big sizes, you can definitely fetch at least 28 to 30 pounds on these. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to be showing you is exactly what I do to make sure my photos are standing out on that marketplace. So you can see here, I've got a pretty plain background. It's just a carpet. Natural lighting is always going to be your best friend. You can use artificial lighting, but sometimes it can give the clothes sort of like a yellow tint. So I thought it'd be a good example if I showed you something that I actually bought in the challenge. So I'm going to be using the Rab walk-in trousers, which I purchased and showed you earlier in the video. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll come over to my photography spot, and the first thing that I'll do is just lay the clothes flat on the floor. Like I said, guys, natural lighting is going to be your best friend just because it's not going to interfere with any of the colours of the clothes. So Rab trousers are one of my favourite things to photo anyway. Because they are quite a firm bit of clothing, you don't really have to do too much folding or steaming with them because creasing in your clothes is going to remove a lot of the value anyway when you are photoing them and listing them up. So make sure that you have invested in a really good steamer or an iron to make sure that you are getting that extra value on your items. So then what I'll do is I'll come over and I'll just take some really nice photos of the clothes. Now you can probably see here from the photos that I'm taking that the background is really not that aesthetic on them. Now, I'm going to be showing you in just a second in the video what I do to make sure that my backgrounds are looking really nice, because I actually use a software called Canva to remove the backgrounds anyway. So whether you've got a carpet floor, whether you're using some decking outside, Try your best to get natural light in because you are just going to be removing the background anyway. These Rab trousers are now photoed and I'm going to show you what I do when I run them through Canva. Okay, so you've seen how I take my photos. Like I just mentioned a second ago, a lot of people aren't going to have a really nice wooden or marble background on the inside of their house. So basically what I'll do is I'll just completely remove the background from the photo and just add my own to it. Now the first thing that you need to do is you need to make sure that you're finding a background that works for you. Now, for me personally, this grey grid one has just always worked completely fine. And if it's not broken, don't fix it. So I'm probably not going to be changing that anytime soon. You can even add AI backgrounds. So you can put a nice wooden floor. You can put a nice marble floor. You can do absolutely anything these days. But like I say, I'm just going to be using the grey grid one for an example. Get the background open on Canva and I'll come over to the left-hand side and I'll just press on uploads. You press upload files and just add your photo that you've just taken of the product you're going to be listing. So then it's on the background like this. I'll then press background remove at the top. And you can see now I've just got my item. All of that horrible carpet in the background from my photo is now completely gone. Next thing that I'll do is I'll make sure that I'm enlarging my item so it's taking up a nice amount of that grid background. It's so important as well that your photos do look as aesthetically pleasing as they can. It actually adds so much value to your item. You probably wouldn't have thought this, but photos are the first thing that people see when they are scrolling on the marketplace. So now my item is in the middle of the background. It still looks a little bit boring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it. I'm going to press edit. I'm going to come down to shadow. Some people use the glow. Some people use the drop. I like to use the drop, so that's what I'm going to be showing you today. So I'll click on it. Now you can see right now you can't really see it because of the grey background. So what I'll do is I'll come down to the intensity bar and I'll just bring that up slightly. And you can see that is looking really nice and that's now ready to be put on Vinted. To save yourself a lot of time, I'd recommend only doing this background remove on your first photo. So the cover photo for the listing. You can do it for every single one if you wanted to. I used to do that, but it takes up so much more time. I just do it the once for the cover photo. The rest of them, as long as the background isn't dirty or it doesn't actually put anyone off the item, it's not that much of a big deal. Just make sure that if you aren't using a nice aesthetic background in person, you are doing this on Canva because it is definitely going to increase your sales. Okay, so all of the stock that I received today for the 10K challenge has been dealt with. So all the clothes have been steamed, photoed and listed, and the trainers have been cleaned and listed as well. Now what I'm going to do is just to make sure that I have got a consistent amount of items coming in, I'm just going to basically show you what I'm doing every single day when it does come to picking up stock and profitable items. So I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret now. I'm going to give you one of the best tips that I use every single day when it comes to finding profitable items. So I'm going to show you that right now. Okay, so to buy all of my items, I use something called a Vinted monitor. Some of you watching this may already know what that is, but I'm guessing a lot of you won't. Now, 99% of other resellers are going to be picking up all of their stock on the actual Vinted app on their phone. Now, this can be quite tedious and also extremely restricting. The reason for this is basically because if you are using a Vinted monitor, you're actually getting the ability to see any items that are being listed. You're seeing them around 5 to 10 seconds before they actually show up on the Vinted app. Now, if you imagine that you've got 99% of other people on the Vinted app and you're on the monitor, you're actually seeing all of the items quicker, which gives you a massive advantage because you're going to be able to buy them before anyone else has even seen them. Just one more thing before I do go ahead and show you that. I do also want you guys to bear in mind that the time is currently 10 past 11 in the evening UK time. Because it is so late, this means that a lot of the UK would have gone to bed by now. When was the last time you were sat there in the evening, especially near midnight, listing up items on Vinted, eBay, Depop or any other selling platforms? But with the power of the monitor, even though it's not a very remote time at all, I know for a fact I'm still going to be able to make some decent money right now, and it's nearly midnight. This here is the Vinted monitor. So you can see on the left hand side of the screen here, we have got so many different filters that we are monitoring 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we've got Nike All, we've got Nike trainers, Nike clothing, Patagonia and Rab, we've got Ralph Lauren, North Face, Jellycats. Everything that you see here is being monitored constantly throughout the day. If you don't see something on this list here that you think you'd be confident in reselling yourself, the monitor that I actually use, it gives you the ability to set up your own private filters so you can monitor your own niche and desires without anybody else seeing that. Now, if you couldn't tell, I actually live in the UK, but if you don't and you still want to do Vinted reselling with the monitor, that's completely fine. because in this server we are actually monitoring over 15 different European countries. Already here some React elements in a size UK 7. We'll see if we get these. Get in there. So we're only 60 seconds in and I've already been able to make a massive pickup. So I've got them on the screen here. You can see they're in really nice condition as well. Earlier in the video, you probably remember, I actually showed that I picked up 2 of these already. I'm going to show you some photos on the screen here. You can see that these are selling easily anywhere between 28 to 35 pounds. So I'm absolutely buzzing with that, especially the fact we've only been recording for 60 seconds. Okay, so some Nike Blue TNs just came up here for about 23 pounds all in. We'll see if we can get them. No way, we was able to pick them up as well. So we just got these for about 23 pounds all in. These are also brilliant sellers at around 55 to 65 pounds. So I'm probably going to be listing these up for about 60 pounds. So that's around another 35 pounds profit. Some Air Max 95s just popped up right here. It says they're in good condition and around a size 7. Once again, you have successfully bought the item. We'll just take a look at them real quick. So yeah, you can see they're in absolute mint condition. We've just picked them up for around 33 pounds all in. I'm probably going to be listing them up for about 50 to 55 pounds. We'll call that another 20 pounds profit once again. So when I'm buying my items, you guys have obviously seen me do it 3 times now. All I'm doing is I'm pressing on this little button here that says fast buy. Now this is probably my favorite thing about the server in general. The reason why this is so beneficial when it comes to Vinted reselling is because when you are actually on the Vinted app on your phone, you actually have to press around 5 different things before you can even buy the item. So I'm going to show you an example on the screen right here. So you see the item, then you click on it, then you've got to press buy now in the bottom right, then you've got to scroll down, then select the shipping point and then press purchase. And if you're paying through Apple Pay as well on your phone or maybe on your Samsung with the wallet pay, you can imagine how much more of a delay you're getting, considering all I'm pressing is one button and I'm getting that item instantly. So I'm just going to show you as well, guys. So I said this earlier. So the stuff on the monitor will actually show up around 5 to 10 seconds before they show up on the Vinted app. Now, if you just look at this example that I'm putting on the screen here, so I've got my phone next to my laptop. Now on the left side, you can see that black North Face beanie that came up. Look how many times I've got to refresh on that phone before it even shows up on the app. I think that's around 8 to 10 seconds right there. So in that time, I could have already bought that item 3 times on the monitor before someone's even getting the chance to see it on their phone. So what I'm going to do is, just because it is getting quite late now, I'm just going to pick up one more profitable item, then I'm just going to head off straight to bed. So bearing in mind, guys, the time right now is around 11:30 at night. I've been sat on here for about 15 minutes and the expected profits are going to be just around 70 pounds. So imagine how much more money you'd be making if you were sat on this exact monitor in the prime hours of the day. Okay, so an iPhone 11 Pro Max has just came up in black as well. It's saying here it's about 110 pounds, so that's going to be about 118 pounds all in, and you have successfully bought the item. Let's see how much these are going for right now. So you can see the condition on it is absolutely amazing. There's a couple of slight marks there, but on iPhones, because they hold their value so well, something like that is not going to affect the value at all. I actually uploaded an iPhone video a couple of days ago and I made so much money in that with the monitor, so definitely go and check that out. But let's head over to eBay and see how much they're worth. So I'm on the eBay sold listings now, so you can see you've got one sold there for £189, you've got 167, 188, you've got one there for 140, but you can see 187 again. Most of these iPhone 11 Pro Maxes are going to be selling at around £180. Now I got that for around £118 all in, so that's going to be around another £65 of profit. Right guys, so I'm done with the monitor now. I definitely do want to go and head to bed, but considering it's around 11:30 at night, we're now at 25 to 12, that is absolutely mental. When was the last time you made that much money in such a short amount of time, especially this close to midnight? Now when you're starting off, I know exactly what most of you guys watching are going to be thinking. What on earth do I buy and how do I know what my niche is? Now I've got something for you that's going to really help you. So in the server, I've made something called a price guide. Now the price guide from other members has been probably one of the biggest hits because it's telling everyone exactly what they need to be buying certain items for and what to be selling them for as well. Basically giving you a full guide on how to make profit without needing to ask 100 questions a day. So when you buy something, you can refer straight to the price guide, and if it's not a good purchase, you can just cancel the order and get a full refund anyway straight away. But in the actual price guide document, we've got over 150 different items listed, going from brands like Nike to Patagonia, Rab, Carhartt, North Face. There's so much in there that's going to give you that massive head start in your reselling journey. As well, in the server, there's over 10 hours of virtual video learning that you can watch over and over again to make sure that you are taking in as much information as you can. Plus, we've built such a great community in there. We've now got over 150 different resellers in the server that are constantly in the general chats, the community chats, just showing each other their pickups, just having general chats about what items are good to flip at the moment, and the list of course goes on. If you do want access to all of these benefits, make sure you do go and hit the link right at the top of the description. Right now, it's actually the cheapest it's ever been to join the course. We also do weekly group calls where we get the members in and we're looking at their Vinted pages, we're doing live reviews, we're looking at people's pickups. You can ask us any questions that you want, but I'm definitely wrapping this video up now, guys. So the 0 to 10k challenge so far is going really well. I've got some really great items that have been listed, plus I've got some amazing pickups which I've just got right now that are going to be coming in the next few days. But this is definitely going to be a series from now on, the 0 to 10k challenge. To make sure that you aren't missing any of the other episodes which are going to be coming in the future, make sure you smash that subscribe button. If you did enjoy the video as well, make sure of course you are dropping a like and also leaving a comment on what other stuff you'd like to see on the channel. I've got a lot of other videos posted as well, guys, to do with Vinted reselling, so please go and check them out. But until then, I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching.